Why does God allow suffering? Let's check it out. So, to understand why God would allow suffering, we first have to understand God Himself. The Bible teaches that God is sovereign and God is in control and God knows beginning to end. So, nothing happens without Him knowing nor allowing. Sometimes that's hard to understand, especially in like the situation of Job. Um, but if God's going to allow something and He knows beginning to end, then He has a plan. So let's see. One reason why God would allow suffering is because sin entered the world. In the beginning, God created and said that it was very good. And then He told man and woman, He gave them one command, to not eat of the tree. And apparently man and woman thought that they needed something more, that God was holding out on them. So they ate, they disobeyed. And in disobeying, they realized that they were naked and afraid. And afraid would be an emotion which could be tied to suffering. So in Genesis 3, it says, God looked at the woman and said, I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. And then he looks at Adam and says, because you have listened to the voice of your wife, you have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. So Adam disobeyed when woman ate of the tree. The whole time she's being deceived, man is there too. So man, Adam, was not fulfilling his duty as a husband to be leader, and therefore suffering enters the world. A prime example, us as humans are given commands, and when we disobey certain commands, we bring upon suffering upon ourselves. For an example, my son, one time I told the stove is hot, don't touch the stove. And what did he do? He was young. What did he do? He put his hand on the stove. Therefore, now his hand is burning and he is suffering because he did not listen to what his father said. He thought I was holding out. So, as the Greek would say, the euangelion, which would be the first gospel in Genesis 3, God told the serpent, I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and her offspring. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. Paul would put it this way in Romans 5, that we have peace with God through faith, that what Jesus did on the cross for us, now we have access to God through faith, through Jesus and his finished work. Paul also says that we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope.